Y'all are my last video. I haven't done these in a while. Reads by sign. 12 videos in one day is a lot, but this is the Scorpio Rising read for this upcoming Libra eclipse at 21 degrees. And for you guys, it's happening in your 12th house. The 12th house is the house of undoing, hospitals, jails, psychological issues, dreams. It's a difficult house because it's the house that falls away from the first. It's not very easily accessible by that first house. So things that happen in this house can be a little bit challenging, okay? It is a big mental health house. And yeah, I mean, we're gonna get into kind of what you need to let go of in order to achieve what you need to achieve there underneath this eclipse. 21 degrees. Again, it's a solar eclipse, so there are new beginnings implied. However, it's co-present the south node, which means you gotta let something go in order to achieve what you're trying to achieve. It's also a time where the nodes, destiny, your path, squaring Pluto, your ruling planet. And that can be challenging because you're dealing with where you're going in life, being very much at odds with your deep psychology and your toxic traits, the toxic people in your life, your toxic patterns, like all of that kind of stuff, right? Your fears. And while this is happening, Mercury is combust, meaning that it's conjunct this whole eclipse situation, so the sun specifically. And this can be a lot of like overthinking, especially in regards to Chiron, because it's opposite Chiron. So you're thinking wounds and healing. And this can cause a lot of anxiety. Usually with a combust Mercury, you're gonna see a lot of anxiety as a result of overthinking. And if that wasn't enough, we're also dealing with the dispositor. The eclipse is in Libra, meaning that Venus is like the heavyweight of this eclipse, and she is in a sign she doesn't really like being in, and that's critical Virgo. And it's opposite Saturn. So much going on. This is being very critical, especially in regards to your aesthetic, your partner's love, the way you spend your money, just money in general. Also having to do with like boundaries or lack thereof because Saturn is in Pisces. There's a lot going on here. So let me turn these cards over and try to figure out what in the world to tell you. My last read of the evening and one of my favorite signs of the zodiac. Give me a second, I'll be right back. Okay, so by far one of the heavier reads. I'll save the best for last. And this one does make sense because the nodes were just in the Scorpio-Taurus axis before they slipped into the Virgo-Libra axis. And the south node was in Scorpio. You guys have not had a good 3 years. In addition to the south node being in your sign, you were also dealing with Saturn being in Aquarius, which isn't your sign, but it is square your sign. So while you had the south node constantly reminding you of what you needed to release and let go of, you had Saturn to reckon with, presenting you with lots of challenges to teach you lessons about responsibility, boundaries, karma, like all of these things. That time is short and that you're wasting it. And I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of you guys picked up some poor coping habits. And this happening in the 12th house, there is the issue of escapism and possibly addiction. Some of you guys may have picked up some bad habits, possibly addictions, during this period of time, okay? We have the devil in the middle of your read. Like that doesn't get any clearer at all. And then we have the Two of Swords having to make a very head over heart decision, and the Eight of Cups having to emotionally disconnect and walk away from something. You are being called to, at this time, release certain escapist tendencies that you have, because leaning on these things rather than healthier coping mechanisms are not going to bring you any closer to any kind of mental health that is going to help you be a better partner, a better parent, a better employee, a better friend, a better human. Like, as long as you're leaning on things and depending on something just to get you through the day versus leaning on yourself and your own healthy coping mechanisms, you're never going to be fully present for the life that you want to live. You're never going to actually heal because you're numbing the things that you need to heal with things like alcohol or drugs or addictions to things that you might download on your phone that you wouldn't want anybody else to see. So yeah, I mean, that might be a very specific read. And if you guys do need any help, like, I'm really fun and easy to talk to. You are free to book a reading with me. I hope that that helps. I hope that this helped. And I hope that this eclipse really does help you release these things so that you can move on with your life and be as happy as you can be. I love Scorpio energy. I'm a Taurus. A lot of my best friends are Scorpios. You guys deserve the world. Like, y'all are not what people say that you are. And I love you guys, and I hope that this helped. Bye.